So this is the flight footage of my Hubsan H502c. This is my second attempt taking it out to Bennerley Viaduct. It's 300 metres out and 300 metres back, so it's 600 metres altogether. So I've armed the motors and we're just about to launch. Now this is the file that I thought I'd lost. When I got home and put the SD card in my computer, it just wouldn't accept it and it just wanted to format it. So the structure of the disk was corrupt, and I tried all sorts of different ways to get the files off and I couldn't do it. So in the end, what I had to do, I formatted it and used a file recovery piece of software to get the files off, and I managed to recover the flight video, so I was pleased about that really. So you can see there's a bit of a crosswind coming from the right of the screen. It's about 10 miles an hour. You can see the quadcopter pitching over a little bit, but the GPS is holding it in position fine. I'm just holding it in position here, making sure climbing altitude a little bit and checking the telemetry on my controller. It's giving me heading information, it tells me altitude, it tells me distance away, things like that, and it gives me battery information. I always time my flights as well, so I know this has about 8.5 minutes flight time. So I know when I get to about 4 minutes I've got to return home. So we're pushing it out. We're over 100 metres here, 120 metres. You can see it's a lot drier on the ground. There's a lot less wet areas on the floor, which is good. If I lose my quadcopter, it's not going to end up in a pond or anything. It's been a lot drier recently. So we're well over halfway here, well over 150 metres. So I'm pushing it out. Now I'm aiming for the second and third support on the bridge, between where the trees are and there's some ponds to the right, just below the bridge. I'm aiming that area in between. So I'm just holding it here, just checking the telemetry all the time. I can still see the quadcopter, I've still got good line of sight. I'm just pushing it forward. Probably about 200 metres at this point. Just going forward again. Now I know the bridge is 18 metres high, so I'm at about 20 metres here, so I know I've got to climb to about 25, 30 metres, so I'll make sure I clear the bridge okay. So I'm checking the telemetry on my controller all the time, keeping an eye on that. And when you look, obviously when you look up in the sky, trying to find the quadcopter is a little bit difficult sometimes because it's really small at this point. I've got no FPV on this quadcopter. I'm at sort of 250 metres here. I look down at the controller, so I push it forward a little bit more, thinking I must have got to about 300 metres, but I'm probably about 270, 280 metres here. But I think I've made it. I didn't look down on the controller and just to check, so I'm sure I've made 300 metres, so I press return to home and it comes flying back. You can see it's still pitching over at quite an angle. You can see the windmill in the background, just to give you an idea. The wind speed's well over 10 miles an hour. This little quadcopter's great. Up to about 10, 12, 15 mile an hour winds, any more than that, and it will really struggle. I was pushing it out in low rates, and you can see it was going quite slowly. Anyway, we're coming back now. I can hear it in the sky at this point. It's a bit of a relief when you hear it coming back, and you can see it now. It's just a bit of a heart-stopping moment when you press that return to home and you're thinking, is it going to come home? Is it crashed? Has it ended up in a tree or something? So it's quite a relief when you hear it coming back. So at this point, I think I've made it. But obviously I don't know until I get home and I put the SD card in my computer and find out the card is corrupt, and I'm really gutted because I was sure I'd made it. But in actual fact, when I got the video back from the card, I'd actually got about 275, 280 metres, so I was almost there. So this thing has really good range. I still had really good control of it. So I know it can make it. So hopefully next time I'll go past the viaduct, I'll make that 300 metres. So look out for the next video, basically. And if you enjoyed it, if you liked it, press the like button. Please subscribe. And also thank you to all my new subscribers. Really appreciate that. And thanks for watching. Okay, take care. Bye bye for now.